Well, g'day, curd nerds. G'day, curd nerds. Well, 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 g'day, curd nerds, and welcome to Ask the Cheeseman. And yes, it's my birthday. I think I've dropped enough hints, but yeah, thanks for all the birthday wishes so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. I've even had emails. So yeah, crazy. But yeah, it's just overwhelming. It's lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, for those who don't know, I'm Gavin Weber, and I'm the chief curd nerd around here, and I will be answering your home cheese making questions. Well, to the best of my ability, anyway. And for those who don't know, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. The Facebook page you can have a look at is Cheeseman TV. Alrighty, now we've got that out of the way. Let's say g'day to a few people. There's lots of people saying happy birthday. Thank you so much, Julia and Judy. Thank you so much. Yes, we're going to have a fantastic year this year. Now that things are starting to settle down with COVID and all that sort of stuff. Thank you, Three Voyages Homestead. Absolutely fantastic. And Patricia, happy birthday to you, my dear. It is your birthday on the 23rd as well. It's not the 23rd where you are, but that's okay. Happy birthday for tomorrow. And I'm so glad you made it, because I think I've got a picture of yours in the gallery, which is great as well. BS, Urban something, maybe. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. We've got some questions coming up, but that's fantastic. Also, thank you to Alex, Sam, g'day to Martin, Kevin P, Mike, George Sturg, I think that's how you say it. Dan, we've got Bruce, Hannah Ruth. It's also Hannah's birthday today. I don't know if she's popped up in the chat, but happy birthday to you too, Hannah. We've got George, who's got some pictures in the gallery. We've got Rashid, g'day mate, James, and Lordy, I think, is there as well, which is fantastic. All righty, let me do a little bit of housekeeping, just a tiny little bit. New patrons today, Mantricon. Oh, how do you say that? Mantricron. Goodness me. So thank you so much for your financial patronage, and thanks to everybody who's a YouTube member and a patron over on Patreon. And if you want to be a financial member, the links are in the description down below. Videos coming up. We've got a premiere straight after this live stream. So the premiere is the bland taste test, which is the fermented whey drink. So anybody who's interested in that, hopefully the YouTube gods, and it's only on YouTube, the YouTube gods will transfer all of you over, or give you a link to the premiere of the bland taste test video. And that's happening at 9 a.m. my time this morning. So in an hour's time. So we have to finish on time today, ladies and gentlemen. So the premiere. And then later on during the week, I had a couple of glasses of wine on Friday night. And I thought, gee, it'd be great to make a cheesy jokes video. So I scoured the internet for the worst and best cheesy jokes. And I made a video called 23 Cheesy Jokes That You Will Love. That will be coming out later on this week. I've already showed it to Kim, and we both had a good laugh. It was great fun. It was great fun. Today, for my birthday, I'm making a Maltese cheese, which I have a difficulty in pronouncing. So I will master the pronunciation of the cheese later on sometime today, but it'll be a Maltese cheese. And also, in honor of Star Trek, we're going to, which is one of my favorite TV shows, I will be making quark. And anybody who loves Star Trek will know about Quark's Bar on Deep Space Nine. Anyway, and just a point of note. I released the Cameo, I'm on Cameo video on, I don't know, what was it, Thursday or something like that. Since that time, I've had 10 Cameo requests, which has been fantastic. One of my first jobs in the morning now is to record all the requests that have come in and shoot them out to your loved ones or whoever wants to get a request or book anything. So I've had birthdays, graduations, pep talks, sleep stories, you name it. I've done it so far, all within the bounds of common decency, of course. And yeah, it's been fantastic. Great fun. I've got our first super chat today. Thank you so much. I've got to find out who did it first. Hasn't come up. It's Jim Jackson. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Let's pop that up there on the screen. And Jim says, happy birthday, King Gavin. Thank you very much, Jim. I appreciate your $2 super chat. Okay. And yeah, if anybody wants a Cameo or a booking, then yeah, the link's in the description down below on YouTube. Not so much on Facebook. You can't really put a lot of text underneath a live stream. Anyway, so what are we here for? We're here to answer questions, or for me to answer questions for you. So after a sip of my morning coffee, let's do that, shall we? Let's find the first one. First one is for Lordy, and Lordy Lando says, are you planning to eat a cake or a cheese wheel or a cheesecake cake? That's a surprise, mate. So wait until the end of the stream, about 10 to 9 my time, and we'll see. Here's a question from Three Voyages Homestead. I made a Monterey Jack, but found it to be a bit acidic. Is there any way I can fix that? Not post fact, unfortunately, but beforehand, what you can do is use less starter culture. Obviously, there's a lot of starter culture activity in there. So reduce starter culture, reduce the ripening time. You can reduce the stirring time, and just check the milk. If you're using raw milk, use even less starter. Use about half the amount of starter culture. So raw goat's milk or raw cow's milk, definitely, because they've already got the lactic bacteria present in them. So yeah, less starter culture. That's probably why it's so acidic. Alrighty, so where are we? So many happy birthday messages. Thank you so much to Cyrus and Dom. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. And to Aaron, I think, as well, from Oregon. It's a long way from here. Mummy says it's my birthday tomorrow, 23rd. It's the 23rd here already, so happy birthday to you in my time zone. Thank you very much, Mummy. Leonard, thank you, mate. Appreciate it. And a statement from Jan says, the older you get, your birthdays are just another day. We should know we are both going to be 72. Have a good one, from Robert and Janet in Iowa. Thank you, Robert and Janet. Appreciate it. Who's it? JP? G'day, JP. Thank you very much. And Heather, thank you so much. And I'm sure we've got a question from Martin here. Let's have a look. Okay, Martin says, so a question. If curd set is often not great, porridgey, not cubes, would trying a bit more rennet help? Milk is 5% fat, pasteurized and unhomogenized. Try a bit. Rarely does that help. If you've already put rennet in and it hasn't set, then the only remedy for that is to wait. So if this is during the cheese making process at present, so the only choice you've got is to wait. If you're making another batch and you know you didn't put enough rennet in, then put more rennet in I'd try 25% more and then maybe wait longer until you get a curd set. Best, if you can, to use the flocculation method, and then that'll time it to perfection. And it doesn't really matter on what strength rennet. If you muck up the rennet strength, the flocculation method will save your bacon, if that makes sense, Martin. But great question, mate. Monique says, let him eat cake with candles. Have a great birthday, mate. Thank you, Monique. Appreciate it. Lordy says, oh man, I was going to share my cheese experiment. I'm sure you still can, mate. Kat the Gypsy, happy birthday. Thank you very much, Kat. And who's this? David from England. Thank you, David. Jim says, so Gavin, did you catch my email today? Happy birthday. I haven't opened my emails, mate. Sorry, I don't open the emails before the show. But I'll have a look, Jim. But thank you for the super chat anyway, mate. Appreciate it. Super RS says, Gavin, I thought I'd pop in and wish you a happy birthday. I appreciate the content as always. Thank you very much, Super RS. Appreciate you turning up today, mate. Jim says that he has seen the bland taste test because he's a patron. And great job with that at Gavin Weber. That's me. Yes, it was very surprising. And you'll see at 9 o'clock, you'll see the taste test. Lordy says it's 9 o'clock in Australia. No, it's not at the moment. It's only 8:14 is the current time in Eastern Australia. There's no daylight savings here. It's winter. Okay. Lordy asks, will you do a live stream on making a cheese? So that'd have to be like a whole day live stream, and I'd have to ban everybody from the kitchen. And unfortunately, the kitchen is the main thoroughfare for the house. It's the only way to go from one end of the house to the other. It's like a galley kitchen. And a lot of people, well, one person in particular is very camera shy, aren't you, darling? No names. Yeah, it would be awkward to do one unless I went into the studio and did it there, but it's still, I haven't got a sink out there, so it would be pretty difficult. Logistics are a little bit iffy, Lordy, but a great suggestion. I did try it once before, but I lasted about 10 minutes because I couldn't talk, look at the camera, and make cheese at the same time, so it was a bit difficult. So, but yeah, thank you. Great suggestion. Hannah, who I mentioned, is 23 today, so happy birthday to you. 23 on the 23rd, or is that the 22nd for you? Rachel, happy birthday. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate it. Alex has a question, which is what we're here for. Alex, thank you so much. Hi, Gavin. Sorry if this is a basic question. Mate, there's no such thing as basic questions. But I'm wondering how you store your cheese after cutting into it. Do you move it to a conventional fridge or leave it in the cheese cave? The answer is both. It depends. If I think the cheese is ready and doesn't need any further aging, and I'm not going to bother with that, then what I basically do is vacuum pack the cut pieces. If it's a cheese that can be vacuum packed, like a semi-hard or hard cheese, and then I pop them in the fridge, and we've got a container in the fridge, and it's overflowing with cheese. I should do a video, and if I've got time to slip it in today, I'll do a video on all the different cheeses that I've got in my kitchen fridge, and you'll be surprised. There's some that are very old, but we get around to eating. So what we kind of do when we do some cooking and it requires some cheese, we go, all right, what cheese can we use? So Kim and I go through the cheese bucket and pull out the most appropriate piece of cheese for that dish. So that's cheese that I don't think needs any further maturing. If I think it needs further maturing, or I just want to experiment, then I'll vacuum pack that cut half as well and pop it into the cheese cave. And I think in the cheese cave currently I've got part of a cheddar, I've got have I got some marble cheddar? I got some double Gloucester. There's a whole bunch of cheeses. I wanted to do a smoked cheese video, which it probably is. It's like 3 degrees this morning Celsius. So I could probably do that now. With cold smoking, you don't want any heat, and you don't want it to be warm outside. You don't want your cheese to sweat. So it probably is ideal now to do a smoking video. And I've got the gear to do it. I've got a hood barbecue, with one of those pull hood things. And I've got the cold smoker kit. So I couldn't see why that wouldn't be too much of an issue. But thank you for asking, Alex. Okay. Hannah says, you guys are still not getting the point. It's my birthday too. Yes, we are, Hannah. We've said happy birthday, my dear. You're fine. Okay. What else we got? Annette says, happy birthday. What is good 2% milk to use in Australia? I see. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Because when I make Parmesan or the cheese that shall not be mentioned, then what I kind of have to do is do half full cream, which is about 3.2 or 25%, and half 1.2%. So I mix both of those in equal quantities, and we get about 2%. I've found it very difficult in all the standardized milk that we've got here in supermarkets, in Victoria anyway, very hard to find a milk that's 2%. So I mix half and half light milk, which is about 1% fat, and half of standard full cream milk, which is not really full cream milk. It's just standardized. It's about 3.3, 3.25%. So I hope that helps. Is that Yaria says happy birthday? Thank you, Yaria. And got a question here from Robert, I think. Robert says happy birthday. Can you speak to the different finishing methods? Vac packing, waxing, cloth bound, natural rinds, rubs, when to use each one, pros and cons of each. Mate, that will be a full video. I have done videos, and Kim can probably put up links to there's a vac packing video, Kim, if you can do that, if Hamish isn't giving you the willies there in the other room. And Kim, if you can find the waxing video as well, that would be fantastic. But I'll just do a brief mention of each one. So vac packing, any semi-hard cheese, but do not vacuum pack blue cheeses or white mold cheeses. They need oxygen to grow. Or red mold cheeses. You just really can't do that. That's natural rind for all of those three. Waxing, I tend to wax the semi-hard. So all of the lowland sort of cheeses, the ones from the Netherlands and from Denmark, those sort of soft cheese like Havarti, Edam, Gouda, and any cheeses that have eye development like Jarlsberg and Leerdama, those sorts of cheeses that are really have not very hard pressing times. I find that vacuum packing kind of squishes them too much. There's too much atmospheric pressure and they really flatten too much. I find that waxing is far better for those cheeses. A cloth bound, the hard English cheeses like cheddar and double Gloucester, Leicester, Cheshire, those sorts of cheeses all lend fairly well to being cloth bound. Just don't make the mistake that I did. Don't use coconut oil. It just grows mold like crazy. Use lard or butter as the medium for cloth binding, and make sure that your humidity is right in the cheese cave for that. Natural rinds, any cheese that you want a natural rind, you can do. There's no big issues on that. It's personal choice. Tome's a good one for natural rind. A lot of the French cheeses are natural rind cheeses, and Swiss cheeses as well, some German ones as well. Rubs, whenever you want. You can do a rub on any cheese you like. So, and good case in point, the the triple pepper jack was excellent, but I think the chipotle powder I put on the outside had some salt in it, which drew out too much whey in the bag, and that was a bit of an issue. All right, so I hope that helped a little bit, but there's some videos that Kim's put up there for you. Okay. Next question. This one's from happy birthday from El Mog Hazi. I think that's how you say it. Sorry, mate, if I haven't pronounced your name right, but thank you so much. Lordy says, do you plan on making a shop or something and selling the cheese? No, unfortunately, I don't sell the cheese. I'm not certified by Dairy Australia, and I just don't have the facilities. I'm just a humble home cheese maker who's had quite a bit of experience, I suppose, and have been able to share my knowledge with all of you. But no, look, honestly, I enjoy running Little Green Workshops, which is the website or the e-commerce site that Kim and I run, so where we sell cheese making kits and that sort of stuff, supplies and a whole bunch of other stuff, soap, candles, bath bombs, and natural beauty products. But yeah, we're into the sustainable lifestyle, so we sell all that stuff over at Little Green Workshops as well. But no, we don't sell cheese, unfortunately. Sean says, G'day, Sean. Lovely to see you, mate. Appreciate it. What's the best way to, and he's got a question, what's the best way to store fresh mozzarella? Fresh mozzarella as in, if it's the quick mozzarella, storage is difficult. After 24 hours, it just doesn't have the structure and it goes flat as a tack. So you would have issues with that. I usually eat it the same day if I'm making quick mozzarella. The low moisture mozzarella or the cow's milk mozzarella that I made stored fairly well because it was fairly low in moisture. But if you're using buffalo milk, then I find that a lot of cheese makers who make buffalo mozzarella store it in a very weak brine, and that's the best way to do it, and then store it in the fridge. Hope that helps, Sean. John says, they say it's your birthday. I assume you're having a cheesecake. I'm not sure. We'll see soon. Three Voyages Homestead says, can you make Fry Ulando? I can't pronounce that. It's a Canadian firm cow's milk cheese named after the Friuli region in Italy. It's rineless, interior ripened with yellow surface and interior. I'll see if I can find a recipe. If I can't find a recipe, then never having tasted it, I probably wouldn't be able to make it, but we'll see. I can't remember it being in any books, but I can scour the interwebs and have a look. Where are we? John says, I know the cheese that you speak of. Yes. I think you're talking about the cheese that shall not be mentioned. Cookie Goonie says, happy birthday. Thank you, Cookie. Appreciate it. John says, I need a agent. No, Cameo will be fine, mate. Don't need any agents. This is strict. What's that? Cricket ball. A cricket ball. Great name. I've never made cheese before, but you are my idol. Thank you very much, mate. I was just wondering, how do you store your ingredients and equipment? Okay, so the ingredients, rennet and calcium chloride kept in the fridge. All of the cultures are kept in the freezer in sterile containers. And equipment just in a cupboard, and I wash them every time I use them. We've got another super chat there, which is fantastic. This is from Dan. Thank you, Dan. $20.99 Canadian, mate. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Gavin, going back to storage questions, can I vac pack a Tilde after it's finished aging to preserve it longer? Yes, you can. Tilde, I've done that myself. It does get a bit flat. So if you, hopefully your vac packing machine has a gentle setting. There, I think it's called gentle, and it sucks the air out, but it doesn't just like grab everything out and try to squeeze the cheese out at the same time. So Dan, if you use a gentle setting on a Tilde, it should be okay. And yeah, you won't get any more rind development, but the flavor will still be there because I've purchased washed rind cheeses in vacuum packing. However, I have seen some wrapped in cheese wrap, but that could be just for maturation. I don't know if it's long-term storage, but yeah, I've definitely vacuum packed for storing a Tilde. So great question. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. And thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, back to some more questions. So many. Okay. This one's from Three Voyages Homestead. When I make cheese, I can't find an unhomogenized milk. I use 4 liters of skim milk with 2 cups of 35% cream. I get a better yield, but does that sound good to you? Yeah, definitely. So if the skim milk is 0 fat and it's just like colored water and you add cream to it, yeah, it should set a pretty good curd and you'll get a good yield. Yeah, you kind of, because homogenization breaks up fat globules and the fat's the cream basically. So kind of you are circumventing it and that works. I've done it before. So I think you've struck on a good one to get unhomogenized milk. So if you're using real skim milk, oh, that's the cheese gallery. I'll just get to the end of this one. So if you're using real skim milk, which is 0 fat basically, or 0.1%, what have you, and you add the cream back in, that's not too thick. It's got to be very pourable. Then you won't have too many problems. Okay. All righty. So the gallery. So where am I? Have I got the gallery? Here it is. And let's share my screen and go to the gallery. Here we go. Fantastic. All righty. So first picture, we've got descriptions for just about everybody. Everybody loved a good description today. So let's have a look. So this one is from Dan Price, and this is his growing cheese collection. And he's got, I don't know what that picture looks, it's his wine cave, which is his cheese cave, which is fantastic. He's got some fantastic looking cheeses there, and he's very large growing collection of cheeses, which is absolutely stunning. The next picture is, this is a double Gloucester that he made from my video. He says it's very tasty. That's a great looking cheese there, mate. And this is, finally, this is a stubborn Tilde that caught every mold imaginable before starting to turn orange after 8 weeks of washing the rind every 3rd day. I think you've nailed it. It's certainly going orange, but hopefully the paste inside is starting to soften, Dan, and make that cheese amazing. But yeah, fantastic looking cheeses. Thank you, Dan. This is from George, and George sent in some stuff last week as well. So this is one of the molds he uses. It's just, I think it's a, what did he say it was? Let's have a look. This is what he's what is it? It's a microwave saucepan he found on eBay, 2 for £5, including postage, from a camping supply shop. So he's used his soldering iron, temperature controlled soldering iron on low, and he's poked a whole bunch of holes in it, and it works like a treat. So that's a mold. I don't know what he's using for a follower, but this is a pepper jack that he's made as well. Let's see. There's some commentary around this. It's a pepper jack based on my triple pepper jack without the rubber and the oil. Testing out for another homemade mold. This time he found, and he used the microwave saucepans on that one. But that looks fantastic. Yeah, let me know your thoughts, George, when you eat it. It looks delicious. This is a petite blue that he's made, and the veining looks spot on and looks absolutely delicious. However, there's some pastry there. He says, if you're wondering about the pastry, I make sausage rolls and had some spare pastry. I thought that the blue cheese rolls sounded good. This cheese was far too creamy and melted out and burnt on the pan, so don't do it. Fairly average cheese twists, but was ultimately a good waste of cheese. You don't know until you try, though. Indeed, George, but the cheese looks great. Okay, thank you, George, for your cheeses. Absolutely lovely. This one's Jim Duffy. He's got a couple of cheeses. This one is Leerdama, which is a cheese from the Netherlands with eyes in it. You can see it's puffing up very well, so that's really cool. I'd love to see that cut into when you do that, Jim, and show us a picture. That'd be great. And he's popped it in a vac pack bag just to finish it off in the fridge. This is his mustard and dark ale cheese. He said it was very tasty. I think a little on the acidic, crumbly side. I also made Colby and Caerphilly. I think I need to cut back on the culture going into the milk that I'm able to get. I saw acid and crumbly in Colby as well. Pasteurized, homogenized. Unfortunately, that's all I have. Waiting to find out if I can make a few good cheeses before going to the expense of buying from the farm. So there's the mustard and ale cheese. It looks absolutely delicious, Jim. I'm going to crack into mine soon as well. Now, speaking of mustard and ale cheeses, this one is from Kim Wilson. I'll just go forward one picture. This is the cheese in question. So this is using an ale from a local brewery company called Brown's Twist Imperial Milk Stout, 8%, which looks amazing. And it says right away we could taste the ale that she used. It's a bit overwhelming, but when we got past that, I could taste the cheese. It's quite good, but we both think it would be better if it was aged a little longer. Says we're going to a party on Saturday, so I'll miss Ask the Cheeseman. Oh, that's sad. I hope you catch the replay, Kim. And she's going to bring some of her cheese as well as her homemade Malbec as well. Fantastic looking cheese. And as I mentioned, there is a picture of this. It's sliced. So it looks very nice, sliced. A little bit of marbling there with the mustard seeds, but all round great cheese. And you're not suffering the same acidity issue as you did with Jim. So, all right, this one's from Osman, and Osman, there's no commentary. This is a cream cheese that Osman created, and Osman's in Australia somewhere. But yeah, amazing looking cream cheese. There's some feta that he's made as well, and some halloumi individually vac packed. I think I would have eaten most of mine by now, but that looks great. And this is some mozzarella, and I think it's using the traditional mozzarella recipe and just vacuum packed the mozzarella balls, which are absolutely amazing. And there is some ricotta, but the lid's not off, so I can't tell what it looks like. But very cool cheeses indeed. I think this may be the lucky last. This is Gouda from Steve Strickland. Is there another picture? No, this is the only picture. I'll just zoom in on this one. Just move it around a bit. There we go. So there it is there. So the issue that we've got here is it is late, what's known as late blown. And this is due to it's a bacteria, but it creates this stuff called butyric acid, and that produces gas and then fishes in the cheese. So this is a Gouda that he made after 6 weeks of maturity, one spot of mold. It says very good Gouda taste and smell. Just some incomplete curd setting or air pockets. But yeah, it's you can use this image if you wish. Oh, I did. Waxed for 6 weeks. So what you can do, you can get this stuff, and it's very hard to find. It's called Lysolac, and it's basically an enzyme made from egg whites. And a lot of cheese producers, even though they don't tell you they add it to their cheese, to their curds, they do add it, especially in Europe. And it prevents these fissures or the butyric acid, and it actually calms it down and makes it go away. And you get a nice cheese. And you can imagine if that cheese didn't have those fissures in it, that the Gouda would be a lovely firm paste. It'll look delightful. Not saying the cheese doesn't look delightful. Late-blown cheeses can be eaten, no problems at all. And they're never too acidic in my experience, and they seem to be okay. But, Steve, that's how you get rid of it. You can find yourself some Lysolac. Like I said, it's an egg white product. You should be good to go. And there are no more pictures in the gallery. Thank you to everybody who sent through a picture to the gallery. What you can do is to send your picture, if I can quickly get that up. Where are we? Here we are. Sorry, let me have a look. I'll just share the screen again, and I'll show you how to send in a picture. So this is my YouTube channel without me logged in, because it says I should subscribe and all that stuff. But what you do, you go to the About tab. Hopefully you can see my little mouse pointer there circling around that. Go to the About tab of the channel and go down to Details for Business Inquiries. You'll have to sign in to see the email address down here. It's not, I don't know. Yeah, you should be able to see it. Sign in there. That's the only email address that I check for gallery pictures. So if you've got some fantastic cheese that you're extremely proud of, or not proud of because you want me to help diagnose it, I can do that during the gallery if it's a quick diagnosis. If it's too long, I'll just send you an email back. But yeah, shoot your pictures through. I absolutely love showing your pictures in the gallery. Alrighty, so moving right along. What time is it? We've got 20 minutes to go. Let's get back into some of the questions. Where are we? Here we go. All right. Next question is from Goran, and Goran says, hello, sir. Does the pasteurization type, high temp over short time versus low temp over long time, affect yield when cheese making? Thank you. Yeah, the higher the pasteurization, the less yield you're going to get, and it's actually harder to set a curd as well. So if you've got raw milk and you pasteurize it low temp, long hold, which Kim, I don't know if you're there, love, if you can put in the video for home pasteurization at home, just pop the link in there for Goran, and we actually find that a lot more enzymes and some lactic bacteria survives the low temperature long hold, so you actually get a better tasting cheese. The higher the pasteurization, the worse tasting cheese, because it becomes sterile basically. There are no living lactic bacteria left or beneficial enzymes in the milk. Basically, if you're using ultra heat treated or UHT or ultra pasteurized, which is nearly the same thing, the protein structure breaks down as well, and it's almost impossible to set a curd set unless you're making something like ricotta and add a lot of vinegar to it, lemon juice, acid. But yeah, so the lower the temperature pasteurization, the better the yield as well. So I hope that answers your question. Wesley says, happy birthday. Thank you, Wesley. Alex has a question, says, I've seen your video on blue Stilton and I'd like to try to make a white Stilton. Is the process completely the same, aside from withholding the Penicillium roquefort 40? Yes, it is. I've compared Stilton recipes, blue and white, and it's exactly the same, just one doesn't have the Penicillium Roqueforti. The white Stilton's a lot milder, obviously, but very creamy nonetheless. Okay. Martin says, any thoughts on a saffron-infused cheddar? It'd taste okay. There's some thoughts. You'll get a different flavor than your normal cheddar. Probably best to try the stirred curd cheddar recipe that I've got, the farmhouse cheddar. Any of those farmhouse cheddar-y style cheeses, I'd try that first because it's a lot quicker and it matures a lot quicker as well than normal cheddar if you want to get a quick result. So you could try that, Martin. I think it'll taste okay. It imparts some nice flavor. Robert says, I'm loving the comparison videos like the Holstein versus Jersey milk, which was a sponsored video made by a cow, which was good. I really enjoyed doing that one. It was my suggestion actually do that. I pitched it at them and they said, yep, fantastic, because they were trying to promote the Holstein milk at the time. So, yeah, it was a good comparison for them. Robert goes on to say, would you be willing to do one that is like Jersey milk versus ewe's milk versus goat's milk? I would, but it's difficult to get the milks for ewe's, with sheep's milk and goat's milk where I live. The goat's milk supplier is a company called Caprolac. It looks like they might be using powdered milk because I've had several reports from home cheesemakers here in Australia that they can't get their curd to set with the Caprolac milk. So I think what they're doing is using powdered milk, rehydrating it and just putting it in a carton. So, which is disappointing because I'm pretty sure they've actually got a herd of goats. So it'd be great to get some fresh milk. Ewe's milk was almost impossible for me to get the first time around that I made the Pecorino Romano. So that was difficult. I'd love to do it, but if it's just difficult getting my hands on milk. If I ever had the opportunity, I certainly will make 2 cheeses with different types of milks, but they are good. Lordy says, how long have I been making cheese? Since 2009, I believe, is when I went on my cheese making course. So quite a few years now. Chozo says, happy birthday. Thank you, Chozo. And so does Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. Jancy says, as a question, says, my baby Swiss and regular Swiss both came out so hard all the way through. The only way I could use it was like a Parmesan. What do you think I did wrong? Not sure. The only Swiss cheese per se, as in Swiss, there's no such thing, is it's a style of cheese, obviously, with eyes. The only one I've made is Emmentaler, and that didn't come out hard at all. Too much moisture loss sounds like what it is to me. But yeah, so moisture can be lost during stirring the curds too much. It can be lost by pressing too hard. It can be lost by aging it without a protective coating. So like natural rind, and yeah, you get a lot of moisture loss during a natural rind. So yeah, that may be an issue. So there's some suggestions anyway, Jan. This is from Nirav, says, happy birthday to the biggest curd nerd in the world. Thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Johan says, happy birthday, mate. I found cold pressed raw cow's milk at Coles the other day. Does that mean cold pressed? Any special way to make cheese with this, add calcium or not? That would have been the made by a cow. There's actually some videos of made by a cow on my cheese channel, and I don't know if Kim's back in the office again, but if you can find the video on the cheddar that I made by a cow and any other cheeses that I made with made by cow milk, is I don't use calcium chloride, except in one where I erred on the side of caution. But yeah. But yeah, don't use calcium chloride with that cold pressed milk because the curd sets so hard. You could bounce a tennis ball off the curd. That's how solid it sets. Okay. All righty. Next question is from, or a statement from Patricia says, I'm excited to see your upcoming Maltese cheese video. The Gauchi clan in-laws will be especially interested if I can produce it. I've just learned how to make pastizzi, which is a pastry stuffed with ricotta. Well done, mate. Yeah, it's an official recipe from a Maltese guy who makes cheese here in the same town I do, which his name's Charlie. So shout out to Charlie. Thank you very much for the recipe, mate. And I'm going to attempt to make that today. It takes a few days, though. So the video will take a while to produce, but it's a nice little fresh cheese. It's soaked in vinegar for a few hours, so it uses vinegar as a brine, kind of. So it should be interesting, but it's covered in peppercorns as well. So I'll have to do the same thing I did with the cannoli. I think that's how you say it. And roll it in peppercorns. So apparently they're lovely little cheeses, but we'll give them a go. Don says, happy birthday. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it, mate. We've got 10 minutes to go before the premiere of the bland taste test. So I'll see how many questions. Hannah says, I will be leaving the house and spending time with my family birthday. Enjoy yourself there, Hannah. John says, finding fresh milk here is $9 a gallon, making it difficult to experiment with. Yeah, it's not cheap getting fresh milk if you can get it at all. So that's a bit of a problem. Sorry, George said about his photo, the unpunched one is a saucepan. The unpunched sauce follower. Oh, the follower is an unpunched saucepan. Right, so he uses one saucepan, pushes the other one on top as the follower. Okay, cool. Well done, mate. Okay, Sylvia says, I'm making brie as we speak. How many times should I turn the cheese until I salt the surface? Also, where can I find goat and sheep's milk? I'm based in Melbourne. I think I answered that part of the question already, but I'm making brie. How many times? You should turn it until it's until it doesn't lose its shape. That's when you salt it. There you go. I'll leave it up to you. So when you can take it out of the mold and it doesn't lose its shape, that's when you can salt it. And when you think it doesn't lose its shape, I'd put it back in its hoop again and leave it there for another at least half a day because they're very deceiving little buggers. El Magazi says, how much calcium chloride must be put in brine for mozzarella and feta? If you go to my Real Greek feta recipe, I make a 10% brine solution and the recipe's there and it tells you how much calcium chloride to put in. I can't remember off the top of my head. Charlie says, greetings from Colombia. I followed the Gouda recipe. Fantastic. I hope it turned out okay. This is Crayfish says, does this live have recipes or only commentary on as in glossary or as in all about? Mate, it's just the recipes are on the channel. This is just the live stream is just an ask the Cheeseman. Sorry, that's I think that's what you're asking. The recipes, you can find some of them in my books. Keep Calm and Make Cheese, which if you do a quick Google search, you'll find. I think the link's in the description below as well to the book. But there is a second book. Somebody asked me a question, but I didn't see it before around my second book. It's being proofread at the moment. I'm still waiting for the proofreader to get back to me, and I will edit it, and then we'll be ready to go. But I'm happy with the format. So the new book is called Keep Calm and Make More Cheese. Yeah, good for titles. Alrighty, so we've got 8 minutes left, and I think Kim may have already done the wrap up, which she has. And we've got Hamish and birthdays, and
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, honey.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gavin. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, darling.
More.
Thank you, darling.
Yay.
You can see she's not going to be in shot, and I've got a muffin that Kim has made herself. Oh, there's the camera. Why am I looking there? This is, and we've got Hamish wants to eat some of my cake as well. You can't see him either. I'll bring him up in a minute. Hang on, I'll just blow it out. You won't believe what I wished for. More cheese. Hang on, Hamish. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. No, he doesn't want to come. You want to come up? Come here. Goodness me, I'm going to bust an O-ring here. There we go. There he is. He's so heavy. Oh, thank you for the kiss, Hamish. But there we go. Say hello and say goodbye to everybody. Thank you for all your birthday wishes. I've really appreciate it. But Hamish says happy birthday too. Obviously, he wants to get down. Get out, mate. Goodness me. See you later. But yeah, don't forget, straight after this, there will be the premiere for the bland video, bland taste test. So you should get redirected over there. I'll just do a few more happy birthdays. If I can find them, here we go. This Patricia, I can't pronounce the name, but yeah, this is Maltese. It will be an interesting video to watch. Charlie, who actually gave me the recipe, happy birthday. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it, mate. Sylvia says, thank you. I'm making a mama brie and 3 baby bries, and I haven't had skin slip. So well done. Well done, mama. Where we go. Is this is from Destructosaurus. Says, hi, Gav. Long time watcher, first time caller. I've just gained access to raw buffalo milk. What style of cheese do you think would suit it? Oh, make a mozzarella, mate. Use the traditional mozzarella recipe, or I think cheesemaking.com has a traditional buffalo mozzarella recipe. So, I would use that. It's so creamy. It sets a curd readily, and yeah, it'll make an amazing mozzarella, or any pasta filata style cheese, which is stretch curd cheese. So it will be wicked. So go and try that, mate. Yep. So I will sign off now. Yeah, I will. Thank you so much, everybody, for all your lovely birthday wishes. Thank you for the super chats. Yeah, we'll move over to the bland taste test video, which will happen in 5 minutes time. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate your time as always, and I'll see you next week. See you later.